All right, we back on this Facebook 5.3 deal. I got it set in the home, and this will be episode 4. We're gonna try to get this block work finished today, and it'll be ready for final wash. So hang loose. We'll bring you in here, and we'll show you how this thing sets up and how we home blocks. All right, so there's a bar that goes through the main saddle. So we got the main caps on and torqued, and then that bar bolts down, and it's located in center, so that allows the block to be, straight when we roll it to each bank. And this thing's got a detent system, and most homes are this way. And it automatically registers 30 or 45 or 90, depending on what you're working on. V6s, most of them are 30 degrees, and most of your V8s are 45 degrees. So, all right, so that's this side, and so this block, and I know somebody's gonna say it, so I'm gonna go on and get it out of the way. We are not using a torque plate on this block. We use torque plates for certain applications we don't. If the customer pays for it, I'm happy to do it. If the customer don't pay for it, then I'm not gonna give work away for free. This is a stock rebuild. The Gen 4 5.3s are super thick. The cylinders don't move around, and GM didn't use a torque plate when they built it, so I just want to get that out of the way. So we have left, let's see. So we got about, can you see that? We got roughly 4 thousandths, give or take, to hone. And I done rough the other side in. I wanted to get the whole deal on film, but we just been so busy, and everybody's got something to do, so we just ain't been able to do that. But we generally, on some stuff we do a little different, but we have found that a 220 grit stone to size, and then we'll do a couple of light strokes with a 280 just to knock the peaks off the crosshatch, and that works great. When we get them back in to freshen, they look good. So that's working, and that's what we're doing. So this thing's got some stroke settings and some height limits where it stops and starts. So I've got most of that pretty well close. Let's get it fired up, and we're gonna rough this cylinder in, and we'll show you how all that works. So that's about 2.5 at the top, and it's about 3 at the bottom. So we're gonna dwell in the bottom a little bit to correct that little bit of taper. So we got a dwell button that'll hold it at the bottom every other stroke. Because generally, not always, but generally when they get tight in the bottom, because usually you don't have as much overstroke in the bottom of the cylinder because of the main web, so you can't come out as far as you can on the top. Still got a little bit to go. Still got a little bit of taper in that one. We're going to let it cool off. We'll come down here to the other end. That one's good and straight. It don't take a lot of heat just from anything to distort the cylinder, and so yeah, that's good and straight. We still got about 2,000ths to go on that one, and so you know, torque plates matter in some ways. In a lot of applications, heat matters, and all we can do is try to make a cylinder as straight and as round as possible in this condition, because this is not running condition. When it gets hot, that cylinder is going out of round. It's getting bigger at the top than it is at the bottom. I mean, there's just all kind of stuff going on. So, you know, we just do the acceptable method, and I mean, it works. But I know a lot of people that really don't understand. You know, they just go crazy about some of this stuff, and it's really just irrelevant, a lot of it. The biggest thing is a track record that works. It don't eat oil, it don't got blow by. The ring package and the piston skirt lives. No, we're still good and straight. Got about 1.5 thousandths left on this hole. Usually I try to get them all within, you know, a half or so, and I let the block completely cool down, because unfortunately just honing builds some heat, especially in aluminum block. And then once we get everything within a 0.5 thousandths or so, we'll come back and do a final hone on every hole with the 220 and get them all zero. And then we come back with the 280 and I'm sorry, 400. We come back with 400 and hit them all like 5 light strokes just to knock them peaks off. And it works really good. I hadn't had any problems. So that's within a couple of tenths, top to bottom. And we usually try to, like, you know, we'll do this hole, then we'll do this hole, then we'll jump back to this hole to try to keep the heat away. And that's one thing that's kind of better with diamond tooling. You don't have the heat as much as you do with vitrified stones. And eventually here we're going to swap this thing over to diamonds, but we just ain't got there yet. And you see, so you can see with the load meter, you know, we try to keep it between 20 and 40, and you can see it's not swinging much. Especially like we're dwelling in the bottom, and you can see it comes up just a little bit. And that's a good indicator of how much taper is in the system, because it's going to have a higher load reading wherever the cylinder is the smallest. And sometimes that's not super accurate, but it'll tell you if things is getting crazy and how much load. You know, if we get over here, it's just so much heat that it's killing the cylinder, you know, and then way down here you just ain't cutting nothing, you just rubbing. So, you know, we try to keep it between that 30 to 40-ish window. At the top and about 1 6 at the bottom. 5 thousandths top to bottom. That's 3 thousandths. It's just a couple of tenths tight in the bottom. That's 2 thousandths. We're getting there. That's 1.5. That's 1 thousandths. Yep, there's our half. Yep, all of them's a half. So we're gonna go back and double check the other side. So that first hole's just a little bit tight. That's pretty much zero. It's about 2/10 small right in the bottom. And that's dead zero, top to bottom. So we'll go ahead and bring this whole side to zero. 4/10. But it's good and straight though. 0 at the top, about 1/10 at the bottom. Yep, 0. Just a couple of tenths tight at the bottom. That's all zeros within 1/10, pretty much, maybe 2/10. We'll come back over to this side, and then that hole there is a little tight at the top. So we'll work this one out first. tighten the bottom. Just about got it. So what we do is we'll take our 400 grit, light tension, and we'll do about 5 strokes. right, so that concludes this episode with the honing deal. We're gonna get this thing out, we're gonna get it washed, and we'll probably do, I guess the next episode will be installing cam bearings and checking all the rod and main bearing clearances, checking cam bearing clearances, and we'll go over all of that and probably put all the block plugs in, and so stay tuned, and we'll get that one up hopefully first of the week sometime. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, check out the website. We appreciate you so much.